Hello everyone, it's Hyperdrive282 here with the new video. It's been a while since I recorded. I got a new microphone and everything, so it's good to be back, but I might be a little rusty. But we're getting into another slideshow PowerPoint presentation thingy on Google Slides. And the last time we did this was back in December with the 2022 Music Awards, and I have thought about since then doing more like music related slideshows and such. So I've finally gotten one today since this topic kind of came up a little bit with some friends. And this topic is regarding younger family members you may have and trying to get them into rock music as well. Um, since, you can always try to get them in early, you can introduce them to the hobbies you like and maybe, get them into those as well. It's something I've personally tried to do with younger family members, so this is something that could probably be applicable to anyone who likes rock that has like a younger sibling, son, grandparent, child, grandchild, niece, nephew, whatever. So yeah, this is really just what I think kind of rock music could work for kids, and I'm uh partially basing this off of my own experiences. So yeah, this isn't anything too special, but let's get right into the presentation. First off, what kind of songs should you introduce kids to? Here is what I think. Again, I'm not a kid anymore. I'm a kid at heart, though. But this is what I think kids could possibly, uh, you know, become. What kind of music? What kind of rock? Literally what it says up there. So the main thing I would think is upbeat, nothing too slow. You want to have something happy sounding that can get the attention, something that sounds fun and cool. Probably nothing too serious or too slow paced. Um, that's definitely how it was when I was a kid, and I know that kids will get excited if they hear something upbeat, happy. So that's kind of what I'm thinking would be the best here. Super catchy. I think the catchiest songs are always the most successful in any regard, but especially when it comes to children. Uh, Something easy to remember is gonna really help. If really help them like it. Good guitar riffs and solos. You don't need anything super complex, but any sort of iconic riff that could get in their head and just some guitar solos make you think, "Oh, I like the guitar." Something like that could really get them into rock music in the long run. Not too long. Now, this one I'm not sure about, but I do think like that they may not be able to keep their attention to the song if it's too long, so that's mainly what I'm thinking there. Again, these aren't going to be applicable to every kid, and I'm not a genius. This is just kind of what I think and just something to bring up points of discussion. So, I'd also recommend starting with the big name bands, like the ones you would hear on radio and such. I just think that that would be, the best way to enter into the rock community is to know about the big stuff. But on top of that, if you have any personal favorites that you want to pass down to a younger generation and get them into, especially if you have like CDs or whatever of them, that's perfectly good as well. But I would prefer a mix. And finally, nothing vulgar, mature. That should be pretty obvious, but it should go down to the meanings of the songs too. Now, sometimes there could be like innuendos and such, and it's like, if they're too young to understand it, that's fine. But we want to try to avoid bad words and anything handling a serious topic. But really, it can be a case by case basis. Now, here's my experience. This is just kind of a few songs that I remember particularly liking as a kid and why I liked them. These stories aren't anything special, but um, I just chose a few out here. First off, Centerfold by the J. Giles Band. I would hear this one quite a bit, and I always thought it was really catchy. I loved the chorus. I loved the catchy, melody in it. It was really fun to sing along to. So, um, this one is just a perfect song when it comes to being, pretty much describes everything that I've said in the last slide. So, um, yeah, that's one of the first ones I can really remember. But we have a couple more here. Steve Miller Band, a band I really like, and one of the first songs that I got into from them, Take the Money and Run. Um, Very short, has some awesome drums, pretty simple, but also extremely catchy. And yeah, awesome song. I think that's one kids could get along with. Nirvana, Come As You Are. I have censored the album cover, but yeah, so Nirvana might be something like, oh, maybe you shouldn't let kids listen to Nirvana. And for some of their stuff, yeah, but I would hear Come As You Are on the radio, and I just liked the song. I found it really catchy. I loved the guitar, and just kind of how it felt. Even as a kid, I knew that the Nirvana songs just sounded really clean. Um, and I just really got along with Come As You Are, despite it being a little bit different. It's not classic rock. We aren't specifically focusing on classic rock here, but when it comes to stuff to get into the rock community, you're mainly looking at the big classics. But Come As You Are is a great choice. Rock and roll band Boston. Now Boston is one of my biggest recommendations here, and I've gotten into their stuff since I was young. Quite a few of their songs could be in the spot. I've chose rock and roll band. Just looking back, you know, and describes what rock and roll is. It's a very by the books rock song, but in a good way. It's just well done, well paced, and everything. I think it would just be a great choice. Because along with these being songs that I got into as a kid, they can also just kind of be seen as recommendations, along with what I will be showing afterwards. So next is Led Zeppelin, Heartbreaker. Now, despite how much I love Led Zeppelin now, I didn't really get used to many of their songs as a kid. But Heartbreaker was the big exception. I loved the riff. That stuck with me, and I think it's just another one that fits the description. Now, this one's a bit different. I want to include something a bit new. This song was basically brand new when I heard it. Skillet, My Monster. This is a bit of a heavier song, though Skillet is a band that has good messages, and the song does have a bit of like a growling part, and it's pretty loud, so it's not for everyone, but I personally, just as a kid, when I heard this, I was like, this song's freaking awesome. So, yeah. And Guns N' Roses, of course, they have to be on here. They're big, catchy radio hits. Paradise City is the one I chose. I liked that one. That one is a that one can be pretty long, but I really enjoyed the guitar solos and stuff on it because I mean it's freaking Slash. But when it comes to the long songs, Guns N' Roses gets the pass. And yeah, again, Paradise City, super catchy, great guitar. So that's what I recommend. But now that I'm an adult and I've gotten into music, I've listened to thousands of songs. So what do I recommend? I'm not going with anything obscure here, but I know a lot about these big artists and my own personal tastes to know what I would recommend for this situation. Tom Petty's the first one. Tom Petty's alright, and I would definitely recommend his huge songs, Free Fall and Running Down a Dream, but really any big hit songs from him would work. And you could probably understand why. They just kind of fit the description. And again, Steve Miller Band, this is the first band that I got into that got me into rockin'. They're a lighter band, um, a lot more by the books, but I think that's a good entry level band, so that is exactly why they're on here. And any of their big radio hits work, really. If you have the greatest hits, 74, 78 album, I think it's the years, that's a freaking awesome compilation album. Just play that whole thing. And again, we have brought up Boston here. Anything from their self-titled album fits this description. That is an awesome freaking album. Basically a 10 out of 10 album. And any of the big songs from that. Plus, their hits from their later albums. Their later albums overall aren't quite the masterpiece like the first one is. But there's some good songs like Don't Look Back, Amanda. Stuff like that would also be pretty good. Solid choice. Next, I wanted to go with something newer because we want to have newer stuff to carry rock along as well. So I've put Greta Van Fleet. I know this band gets criticism, but the people who criticize this band are wrong. I love Greta Van Fleet, and I think they are a great entry-level band as well for several reasons. But again, their big song, Highway Tune, very good one to get into. Perfectly fits all the descriptions. But really anything from them works, but particularly I would say the EP, from the Flyers, which is where Highway Tune is from. All the songs on that are amazing, and all very similar to Highway Tune. So if you know that song, all the other songs in that album are similar, and so it just makes a good selection. And we have the Eagles' Life in the Fast Lane. I really should have put this in the other, but like, yeah, the Eagles is a bit of a lighter rock band that would be a good entry level. Um, and Life in the Fast Lane, definitely my favorite from them. That one has the most guitar focused. I didn't really put their other hits because honestly, I listened to a lot of Eagles hits and a lot of them are just, I can barely even consider them rock. They're just very light, and I personally, as a kid, would find them boring. The only one I really am into, at least when it comes to the, heavier stuff, is Life in the Fast Lane. But who knows? The Eagles as a whole, it's not a bad choice. Anyway, at this point, I kind of realized that just putting images would take too long. So I put a list. Actually, I have one more slide, and after that is a list. But I want to put Stone Temple Pilots. Now, realistically, this is not the best choice, probably, but this is a case where I really, really, really like this band, and would like them to be, like them to have more fans. So I've suggested them on here. Vaseline is short, happier sounding, very catchy. That one's a good choice. Big Empty also works. It's a little bit slower, but I think it works. Another catchy song. Um, and yeah, really any of their hits. Some of them are a bit slower, darker sounding. Uh, some of them have slightly darker topics, but any of their more upbeat sounding hits, you can't go wrong with those. And again, wait, did I put the Eagles? I put the Eagles twice and didn't even notice. That's a mistake. Okay then. I think I was supposed to put something else there. I don't know. But yeah, I didn't. I was tired. Spent like an hour making it because I didn't. I don't know. Yes, I'm lazy. So Leonard Skinner, from Alabama, obviously a good one to get into. There is some like slight political meaning behind the lyrics, but like it really doesn't matter, especially to a kid. Um, it's got a billion plays on Spotify. Everyone knows it, and you can understand why it'd be a good choice. And yeah, so here's the list that I just want to go over all these artists. They honestly should have just been in picture slides, but I just kind of got lazy. And before I get to this list, I also want to mention ZZ Top. I'm stupid to forget them. Do have a few like frisky lyrics, but ZZ Top's a great choice as well. Any of their big hits. But now I get to the list I just kind of thought up. Most of these are pretty recognizable names. So yeah, the Beatles, the Stones, absolute classics. They could be a bit too old sounding for kids, but they're all, pretty. They all fit the vibe for the most part. Maybe just select some songs from them. The Cars, terrific choice, honestly. While they're a bit more pop rock, their big hits I think are perfect. Just What I Needed is another song that I liked as a kid. Honestly, should have put that at the beginning. But yeah, Just What I Needed is great. Any of their big hits, really. Um, Magic and Shake It Up, My Best Friend's Girl. All of those are good choices. Collective Soul is another 90s band that I think has good messages on their songs and some great riffs. They're simple, which can be said about a lot of 90s songs, but um, this sort of contemporary 90s rock works great, so any of their big hits are good choices. Now, Crowbot, a lot of you watching this probably don't even know who Crowbot is. It's a newer band that I really, really like, and I feel like it's subjective taste, but I do think their songs are pretty kid-friendly, uh, that they fit the description that I typed out. Billy Idol, another really big one that I, can't put my mouse here so you know who I'm talking about. But Billy Idol, big, big example, really. The pop rock, happy stuff, very catchy. Like that just works. You got Dancing with Myself, Rebel Yell, his big hits, obviously work really well. Moni Moni was another one I really liked, even though that's a cover. So yeah. Fall Out Boy's newer, but I can really see another one that's really another one younger kids can get into. They're big hits. They're not a classic band, but if you know their songs, you can probably agree with me. So yeah, their big hits work. I did realize, oh, I don't really have enough female artists on here, so I threw in Pat Benatar because she's kind of like your standard female rock artist from back then, and her songs work. Hit Me With Your Best Shot. I didn't mind that one. And her other stuff, like, yeah, not bad. Now, Smash Mouth, a bit of an odd choice, especially since some people don't even really consider them a rock band, but and I'm not just talking all-star here. Smash Mouth has some great stuff if you go look into their other stuff. They really do. And all of it is pretty... I mean, again, it matches the description. I don't know how else to word it. Finally, I have John Mellencamp. He's never been my favorite, and he's really a bit more of like a country, folk rock kind of artist, but his songs could definitely be enjoyed by a younger audience. And with that, I don't have an outro slide, but yes, I do. So this is the outro slide. Yeah, it's late, my throat hurts, I'm tired, I can't think. I just wanted to record my new microphone, I wanted to get this video out, and maybe bring some awareness to, trying to get the younger generation to keep rock music alive, you know? Because honestly, I could spend a long time ranting about how rock music isn't relevant anymore and why it should be, maybe for another day. But yeah, hopefully this can spark some discussion. If you enjoyed, you can like leave a comment or whatever. And yeah, hopefully I do more of these in the future. And if you want, stick around for more content. If not, thank you for watching. And hope you have a good one. See you later. I guess. I don't know. If you're still watching, I don't know why. Bye.